Good morning, Magandang Umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Monday, and it is January 29, and let me see what build day it is today. Today is going to be build day 294, and how do I know it's 294? Because you saw me just look over at the computer as I'm answering comments this morning from our channel here, as I normally do every single morning. In the evening time, I do the upload, and in the morning, I try to read emails and respond to emails, as well as any questions that you might have on the channel here. This morning, everybody's on site except for the landscapers. The landscapers, again, they said it is too wet outside, which if it stays like it is today, this will dry up perfectly, and the guys can come back tomorrow and they can continue on doing the grading. Remember, the grading on the back of the house, you see all of our blinds are up. The reason we're putting the blinds up is there's so much dust in the air. We don't want to get all the dust inside the fabric of the new blinds. When everything settles down, then we'll put it back down. In evening time, after they all are finished and off for the day. So when I'm hoping very soon that the landscapers will do the grading here. Remember, we had a bunch of the, well, not a bunch. We had some of the soil when it rained. It went over the side. We didn't have a really big rain, a real super heavy rain. So that's good. I want them to get that leveled as soon as possible, so that in the event we have a heavy rain, that the mud doesn't go down into our driveway area. So again, this morning, our workers are doing things like stairs. They're doing all the leveling of the stairs. Oh, and you can see I got a little bit further yesterday on some of the tile work up here. And we have folks working upstairs on the doors. We have our worker doing the support rails, like the support rails on the back here for the fence posts. He's doing that. Remember the 7 that I received from Otto a couple of days ago? I believe it was Saturday he brought those in. And they're installing the 7 support poles up on the lanai on the second floor outside the master bedroom. So there is a lot of activity going on this morning, so let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. One of the things you can do as a homeowner, you have the option of determining where you want all your sinks and faucets to be done. So this morning, one of the things, we are starting here on the CR on the first floor. And this is our vessel sink right here. And we're going to do a little bit of a non-traditional approach to installing the sink and the faucet here inside the CR. Normally you would put the faucet directly behind the sink, whether it's a regular sunken sink or a vessel sink as this is right here. But it also depends on what type of a faucet that you're using. You want, remember, everything is about ergonomics and about accessibility. So in this room, we're doing a little bit of a non-traditional approach. You've seen it before, I'm sure, maybe in some hotels and some resorts. But we are going to put the faucet over to the corner, at an angle to the corner instead of directly back. Once the tile goes back inside here and you have a mirror inside, you won't notice it. Right now it's kind of obvious where it's at because of the concrete in the background. But you have to think about it, where your access to your on and off in your hot and cold water is, and it's right here to the right. If we put it back here, it means you have to reach over the sink, over to the side. We already put it back here, and it was a little bit uncomfortable and awkward in that area. So I think it's going to work fine here, right? You like it?
Very good.
So we're going to put it here. We did all of our markings. And also, where you want your sink installed, whether it's inside the granite or on top like we are here for the vessel, you make a determination what's comfortable for you. So when you're working with your installer, have them place it where you feel it's comfortable, move it back and forth, left or right. Of course, most of the time, left or right is going to be centered. And don't forget to allow for the tile. You have to deduct the amount for the tile that's on the side, plus whatever the tile adhesive is on the back. That will give you your center between this point right here and the edge right here. Now, front and back here is going to be different because you want the most comfortable place for washing your hands, the distance from here to the back of the vessel sink or the sink inside. You want to make sure you don't have water splattering over. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to people's houses here in the Philippines, and when you turn on the water faucet is so close to the back, the water goes over the back of it. So this is the time, this is your opportunity to make it right.
That's his phone.
So it was funny this morning. Ness didn't have her glasses on, and she doesn't see very good without her glasses. And she looked out and she was yelling. She said, "There's a big black and brown dog in our backyard." And I'm like, "Big black and brown?" And I only know of a blonde. There's another blonde dog in the neighborhood that likes Marianne. She said, "Go, you have to go and get that dog." And I look outside, and it's just Hapon in the backyard.
That's so fun.
Well, anyway, a quick trip to McKilling. I have to get a couple of saw blades. These are the type of blades that you use when you're cutting hole in things like ceramic or porcelain or granite or quartz or anything like that. They have a special, a lot of times it's like a diamond cut that they have on the end. It's a special blade. It's very hard. It's harder than the stone. This one is so worn out. It's just like this metal portion right here. And there's different qualities and different grades. I'm not sure of the grades that are available around here, but this one's worn out and it's in effect, it's not working at all. So I have to get a couple, one this size and another size, so that I didn't complete the install of the GRAN-NITE. And I say GRAN-NITE, somebody made a mention, GRAN-NITE is how they pronounce it here in the Philippines. GRAN-IT is how we pronounce it in the US. GRAN-NITE, it's the same thing. For those of you who are making comments on the channel about, "Oh, you're pronouncing that wrong." I pronounce a lot of things wrong, but my wife Ness, she says, "I have my own language, and it's called Jamesism." She has a book. She's writing a book with all the words that I use that are different from standard English grammar. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Let's go ahead and head down to McKilling and grab a couple of drill bits. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? So we have one size that we need here at McKilling. We have the 25 mm, but we don't have the 4.5 centimeter that we need for the big area for the vessel sink. This will work for, I don't know what he's using it for. Maybe he's using it for the hoses that go to for the faucet itself. So we'll pick this up, and the price of this is $1,199.75. Yeah. So we're still looking for. We're still looking. We'll stop maybe over at Handyman. Maybe they have some. Well, since they don't have the 4.5, we still need to score that. So I'm thinking about going to City Hardware. I think City Hardware might be a little bit better on that specific tool that we need instead of going to Robinson's and going to Handyman. I'm not sure Handyman has that type of hardware. So we'll go and we'll see. Fingers crossed. Some of the other things on my list to pick up today, this is for me, for the washers, for those bumpers. I have to do the shock absorber bumpers for the generator. But grind, they told me to get the grinding. They're 4-inch grinders and I know it's for the masonry and to do some work with the cutting and shaping of the tile work as well as the GRAN-NITE. So I don't know which one. The ones that we normally have look something like this, but I'm not 100% sure. So I also got this one too. They're relatively inexpensive, 85 pesos. So I want to make sure. Plus I needed 10 pieces of 180 grit that they're using for the sanding of some of the GRAN-NITE as well. Also, we need GRAN-NITE. Remember, we need one more piece of GRAN-NITE for the threshold that goes between the hallway and the CR on the first floor. So I'm going to pick up one of these while I'm here. We'll bring that back. Then I need one more piece of GRAN-NITE. Remember the GRAN-NITE that we're going to be used for the sinks, 2 vessel sinks on the second floor. And it has to be spectacular, and I haven't found spectacular yet today in this inventory. Spectacular meaning it's special for the second floor for the master bedroom suite, and I've seen some, but every time I go back they're gone. Places like Wilcon and I believe CW Home Depot as well. I'll continue to look for that. We're not to the state of putting those in, but it's going to be very soon. So if I see something, I will grab it when I can. And I just said I didn't see anything spectacular here, and I didn't even look on this side. Look at this piece right here. Oh, this is going to work perfect. So I did find what I call spectacular. So if this has no blemishes in it, we're going to get this one as well. Well, I just contacted the folks who did our kitchen cabinets and requested them to replace the glass that this won't fit inside of this space. Remember I said yesterday that when the installer came in, they used this template to drill the holes for this new glass that was inside here, and they're off by about like this much. So they were kind enough to say they would cut the new glass and they will replace that. So I had to do the dimensions. So if you're doing dimensions, you have to be real careful when you're doing the dimensions for something that's probably not 100% even, which is it has to do with our backsplash. We have a little bit more sticking out here than down this area. So when you make your calculation, give somebody a measurement for a glass. If you have some movement, you need a little bit of movement inside there. So what you're going to do, you're going to find the most narrow area. So this area right here, from the back of this right here to this spot right here, was the narrowest out of all when I did the calculation all the way for the depth. So that will be the final one, unless you want them to cut it at the same angle that you have. And if we had to, we could do a little bit of a correction by moving this little molding out, but not by much. Maybe only like a few millimeters. So anyway, so I gave them the information today. Today is Monday, January 29th, and we'll see how long it takes for them to get the glass and get it out here installed properly. Well, as you can see, it is after 5 o'clock, and you know what that means. After 5 o'clock means everybody's packed up and about ready to leave the site here. A fairly productive day today on the build site. Let's just go ahead and do a capture, see everything that was done for today. We'll do our wrap up. Shoe molding. The shoe molding got some finishing done, as you can see. And of course, when they do that, they tape off for this portion. And anywhere that they have paint, it's easy for them to go back over the paint. I kind of wish they would tape that off too. It would probably make it a lot easier and they wouldn't have to do that. But that's the way they do things with this crew. Also today for finishing, you can see up there, it's nice and clean now. That window frame is clean. They went up there and they sanded it and they did the painting around it. As well as this one over here, they did some of the finishing. Still have to do some touch-up paint, both on the frame itself and some of the wall. Open this up inside of here. What did they do inside? I know they were working on this frame a lot today. They spent a lot of hours on this one frame right here, and maybe a little bit on this one as well. Today also, the steps leading from the first floor to the second floor up here. They trimmed it. You see, now they are all equal size right here. And they did some leveling and cut off the excess parts of the bolts on each one of these. So they did some work on the steps as well. Up on the second floor, we don't have to go up on the second floor. It was nothing but sanding the French doors. That's all they were doing, sanding French doors in preparation for finishing. Here on the first floor, again, I got my carpenter, my foreman, and remember when I said yesterday, I don't know why they did this and didn't do the bookshelf at the same time? I just think they didn't know that there was supposed to be a bookshelf. Even though we mentioned it, our builder knew that this was supposed to be a closed area here for all the electronics, and then this area down here was for the bookshelf. Well, anyway, my carpenter, my foreman, he jumped on it starting this morning, and he has the pedestal here, and he started to put a separation. You see how we have a separation between, we have like 4 cubby holes? Well, these are all behind doors. This is not going to be open behind doors. And I asked him, please don't make a separation inside here. I want a full bookshelf inside here. And the way you do for support, instead of having something like this or board inside there, you do a separation of backboard. When you put the backboard up against here, in the very back, it will give support for this entire shelf right here, and that's all we need support is for that one. And then they'll do the backboard here as well. We'll have it on the same, and it will look like it goes all the way through. But the big thing about that, I didn't want separation, because when you're walking through the hallway right here, and you're walking, just imagine if there was a separate, look up there, you can't see on the other side of that board. Here, we want to see the whole thing. And that gives us options. That gives us the option if we want to put some knickknacks inside there, which we're not big into knickknacks. But if we wanted to put like a vase, or if we wanted to put like some pictures of the grandchildren or something like that. Oh, let's go back here. But well, you couldn't do that. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. If you had that blocking, you wouldn't see on the other side. That's the reason why we want it open. If we want to put books there, and then we could put bookends on the end of it, and that would look very nice. Also today in the CR, we're slowly starting to get some work done inside of here. Don't need the fan on in here. So here is the GRAN-NITE GRAN-IT top that is going to go on here. Ding went ahead, he cut the hole for the vessel sink is on it. This is the bottom of it. And the top side is perfectly round, and this is where the vessel sink drain will go. And this is the side over here, which is going to go over in that corner, which we are talking about. That's where the faucet's going to be. We showed that earlier today. So that's what got accomplished today. Just remember, working with GRAN-IT, there's a lot of work involved with working with GRAN-IT. And we have the other ledges that go inside there for the shower area. On the outside, let's see what was done on the outside. Not much on, oh, yes there was on the outside. The outside today, finishing up of these posts. You see the post right here? The support post for the deck railing system that's going out here. And when they finished this, they went over and they just started on the lanai off of bedroom number 1. and we are going to allow them to keep a few of these embedded in the concrete without using the post. We use the post on this one right here. It's underneath this right now, and these are embedded deep into the concrete. They weren't supposed to be, but they are, and I keep testing them, and I cannot move these. They are firm, and I suspect maybe there was some rebar that was already embedded in the concrete, and that's what they poured the other layer inside there of concrete on top of that. They're really strong, so this will be the only spot inside the house that has non-poles except for this one right here. This one, as you can see, this is how deep they embedded the rebar, and when I went and I moved it around, it just fell right out of this hole right here. So the other ones are good. The main thing is this one, which is the center one. This needs to be nice and secure, and that's why we used the support post down there. So I think we'll be okay with that. All the rest of them will all have support posts. Good news, I received a phone call from the folks in Calamba, Laguna, Wilcan. You remember the 3 lights that we were looking for that we wanted to put on the patio back here? I believe I showed you the picture. If not, I will show you the picture. I will see if I can find it on my phone, and I will superimpose it over like right here without the sun in the way. And over here we have 1, 2, 3 lights that go here. Remember, then there was going to be an awning that goes over the top, a 1-meter awning with some nice pergola supports on there. But these, I've been waiting and waiting for these. We have had such a hard time getting these, and they said they're in. I hope they're in. I will pick them up tomorrow, as well as the lamps that go around. They were supposed to be for the inside and the outside. Do you remember the lamps that we for the fence posts out here, the ones that were supposed to be on the inside and outside, that we ordered? We ordered 40 of them from CW Home Depot in Alabang, in the Philinvest area, and they ordered them and they said they were coming in. Well, they only received 31. I don't know if they have any more in stock or if they can get any of them in stock. So what we're going to do, we have to make a command decision here, and they actually would look really nice on the inside. The ones on the outside, we are going with a different one. So I'm going to get 20 of those for the inside. 20 on the outside will be a different style, and it will be better, because the one that we're putting on the inside, the one that they ordered, that they got 31 in, they're sort of like a lantern, not quite like that lantern, but it's an upside down lantern, similar with a round globe on the inside instead of a square one. They're very nice, but they will look real good for interior. And I got to thinking, if we put them on the outside and the sidewalk is so close, somebody could bang them with their hands, or you never know, kids or something like that, and they would be easily broken. So the ones for the outside are probably going to be the close mount that sit on the side and just give a little bit of illumination to the sidewalk. So we'll make a decision on that one fairly soon as well. So let's go ahead and close for tonight. So tomorrow's going to be another day of building, another day of a lot of the same stuff that's going on right now. So anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you found it informative, please share. And if you found it the least bit entertaining, please click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. If you are not subscribed, you will be subscribed, and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until tomorrow, you have a wonderful and blessed day.